What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday. The weekend is here, almost 4:30, and we got a little bit of news here. I got this news a little bit earlier in the morning. Just got home, wanted to put this together for you quickly. Now, if you've been tuning in, you know I've been keeping you up to date with all of this, so you'll already kind of have an idea of what I'm about to give you here at the end. But we finally got the exact numbers for Lane Johnson, his cap hit, what that extension did for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to talk about all those other things that are going to affect the Eagles salary cap. And I'll be able to give you the estimated cap space that we actually have to spend right now. So I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. Hopefully you had a great week. Hope you're ready for the damn weekend. Let's go. But I'm ready to rock and roll here. So any questions, any comments that you have, please feel free to leave them down below. I will be back later tonight, Fan Friday, taking all of your questions. Got some great ones from the members we're going to break down later. So looking forward to that. Hope to see you then. But let's jump right into this. And we'll start off with, if you were to look up the Philadelphia Eagles cap space, this is what it's going to show you. But I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you what they actually have. So that's the purpose. Let's get into it. So you see here the notable cap hits. These are all the guys we re-signed. These are the guys that we've added. So you notice all the guys we brought back their, cap hits, all that great stuff. We talked about how phenomenal it was for James Bradberry, $3 million a year. But every single person that we have signed so far is under $2 million cap hit. We talk about how well Howie's been able to go out, find these guys that maybe they've had an injury history or they're just a depth piece, a higher draft pick, haven't found their way necessarily. So we have found ways to get them on one-year deals with very small cap hits, and that is a fantastic job by Howie Roseman. Now, there are two pending cap hits here, so we have to remember that. Marcus Mariota and Kentavious Street, their cap hits are unknown at this moment. So we will have to include them when we take away from this current cap space that you see. So right now, if you're to look it up, $21 million, $308,938. That's crazy, man. So a lot of cap, it looks like. But you have to remember, we're looking at all the caps we have. We're missing only a couple, but also something you have to keep in mind is the fact that, the Eagles are going to, they're going to obviously have draft picks that cost things. We're going to have certain things that are going to affect this cap here. So I want to bring this. And again, if you've watched the show, the past couple of weeks, you are in tune with what we have going on here. All of these salary cap hits. We talked about how Darius Slay was $26 million, able to bring him down to 11. I mean, a fantastic job by Howie Roseman so far this offseason. But there are going to be other things that affect this cap. So you can't just say, hey, the Eagles have $21 million. But you also can't listen to the people that try to use these things that I'm about to bring up to say that we don't have cap space. Oh, you got to sign Jalen Hurts. Oh, you've got draft picks. Well, guess what? You should probably understand how those things affect the salary cap before you say that the Eagles don't have any salary cap. So we're going to talk about that, the space that we do have. Let me show you here. Now, one thing you have to remember, I don't know why I went to the top there. We're supposed to be at the bottom. Okay, projected draft pick cap hits. That is something that people fail to realize each year. We talk about how much money are the Eagles going to need for their draft picks. And I try to break this down as simple as I can. So let's take a look. We know the numbers, and we also know that these don't have to be the draft picks. So the Eagles could easily trade back. They could acquire more. But a lot of the time, your first three draft picks are what are affecting the cap. The Eagles just happen to have 4 picks in the top 94. So if we were to stay put and draft those players at those positions, those are the cap hits. I'm not making it up. I promise you, those will be the cap hits for those players. So I have those numbers for you. You see that would be a total of $8.3 million. But you are not just taking that money and taking it away from the cap. A lot of people make that mistake. What you're doing is replacing those 4 players with the bottom 4 out of the top 51 cap hits. If you don't, I'll explain it quickly. But the salary cap just consists of the top 51 guys. Those are the ones that affect our salary cap. So all you're doing is taking those bottom four, all $940,000 cap hits, and you're replacing it. So 940,000 times 4, that's 2.4. So let's go, baby. Let's do that math. We'll subtract that 2.4 mil. You get yourself 5.9 mil needed for these draft picks. We'll call it 6 to simplify things, but you've got yourself 6 mil that you need. We don't know if we're going to acquire more. Maybe we'll trade one of those first round picks, get another second, add another third, a fourth, whatever it may be, but only some of them. They have to be over $940,000 cap hit for them to actually affect. So those 2 7th-round picks we have, they are not going to affect the salary cap. If you don't understand that, you have any questions, please feel free to ask down below. Try to simplify that as much as I possibly could. But let's get into that. Now that you understand that, and if you watched the show the other day, we talked about Jalen Hurts, his extension, what that would do to the salary cap. So now that we know what Jalen Hurts is going to do, we know what these draft picks are going to do, we know what we saved with Lane Johnson, and I've got a little estimation about what we've got going on with Street and Mariota, we will be able to look at what this estimated cap space is. Could be a low cap hit. Yes, indeed. As we've been mentioning, my man. Yo, happy Friday to you, Liz. Appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, get them on in there. And I hope to see you for Fan Friday. Same goes to you, my man, Dante. What is going on, bro? Hope you're doing well, having yourself a great week. Trade back so we can get some capital for this year. Yeah, we talked about that over and over, man. Howie is always going to be willing to do those things. So you guys know we've talked about all of that. Let's talk about this cap space here now. We know that 21 mil is what it looks like. So you've got 21.3. We're adding 2.6 mil with the Jalen Hurts cap savings. If you have any questions about that, go check out that video. It was only a couple days ago where I just finally broke it all down in one single video. So you can go check it out. I mention it all the time, but wanted to make this clear to people. It will help us this year. But Mariota and Street, now again, whatever their cap hits may be, they are replacing 2 bottom guys around $1 million per. So you're taking 2 mil off of whatever the hell their cap hits are. I really don't see Street being more than $1.5 million cap hit. Mariota, maybe he's in the 6, maybe 7, maybe even $8 million range when it comes to the cap hit, depending on what kind of deal they gave him. But for the sake of this, I went with 7 for him and 1 for Street. That gave us 8. I subtracted 2. So we're going to say 6 million here. Again, this is estimated, but I'm telling you what work I do here so you understand why I have these numbers. You know the draft picks, it was 5.9 plus, but we're calling it 6 to make the math easy here. So what you get is 11.9 mil. But again, with Jalen Hurts cap savings, with Mariota and Street, we don't know the exact on Mariota and Street. The draft pick, that could definitely change. But regardless, what you are seeing there is the Eagles have around $12 million in cap space. And that's after Hurts. That's after the draft pick. So whatever narrative they're trying to spin to tell you we don't have cap space, tell them they should learn how the cap space works first. Now, that can mean a plethora of things. We hold on to a lot of cap space because you can roll things over. You may need to sign guys like Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh midway through the season. So it's good to have some cap space. But we can also sign more players. We could also trade for some of those players we talked about. If you missed that video, go check that one out. That explains our cap situation, their contracts, a lot of those top-tier players a lot of people are talking about, explaining how the Eagles can trade for those guys with the draft capital we have, with the cap space we have. So just trying to keep you on the positive train here, ladies and gentlemen. I know that they're spewing what they can, trying to get that negativity out there about our birds, but let them keep hating. We'll keep educating. I just really can't stress it enough. But man, Tim, hope you're doing well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit of information here. So as I was mentioning there, you guys can go check out all of those videos. I mean, talking about those trades with $12 million, you could add 10 players if you wanted. So got plenty of money, got plenty of draft picks. So whatever narratives are being spun, go ahead and tag me in it. Give them this video. We'll help them understand how the cap works and that the Eagles do indeed have cap space, room for their draft picks, room for the Jalen Hurts extension, and room for Howie to work that effing magic. So let's effing go, baby. All about it. But look, appreciate it and doing what I can to try to simplify these things. I know no one else is out here doing this stuff, so it is more than my pleasure. But that's what I always say. If there's anything that you are caught up with, you don't understand something I'm saying, I try to do all the hard stuff and just show you the simplified stuff that, as a fan, you need to know what you need to be able to look at. And that cap space, all you need to know is that's a lot of cap. That's a lot of room still after signing all of those people with the draft picks, with our extension to our quarterback of the future. Yeah, let's ride. But if you got anything from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe. I'd love to see you later. Fan Friday. So all of you members who got your questions in, I'll be making a graphic. We'll all be breaking it down. I'll answer it. You guys can answer it. And then those of you in the chat can throw your questions, and we'll get to as many as we possibly can. Hoping to be around 7 o'clock tonight, so I hope to see you then. Man of the people, for the people. I appreciate you, my dude, Randy, and I appreciate each and every one of you who tuned in, Latif and Tim, everybody else who took the time, Liz. I hope to see you guys later tonight for Fan Friday. And for those of you members, get your questions in. You have some good ones out there already, so I'm looking forward to tonight's show. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have yourselves a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!